As soon as you hear the bagpiper, we're getting ready.
Getting ready. Same guy.
Yeah, the son of the old one, David got it.
Oh, really?
He was the old one, yeah.
What happened to him?
Is he like alumni or something?
I don't think so. Well, it seems like we've had some gals who are. Oh, we have a gal now. Is that my live? Am I the gal now?
I don't know, it could be.
I'm now a gal now. Yeah.
Remember whatever you say.
I think I sound like Bob.
These mics are sensitive.
They are sensitive.
Where is Al?
All right, Alvin.
Yeah. We'll be here all day long.
Here we go.
It's all sick background. Uh-oh, pretty snappy.
Right on time. Hey guys, get ready. You need your timpani.
I guess you can sit for a minute. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ron Sino. I'm head of school here at the Academy, and it is my pleasure. One Worcester Academy tradition is that the graduating class votes on their valedictorian and salutatorian from amongst our cum laude inductees each year. It's my pleasure, this year's salutatorian.
everyone, we will start by singing the Academy hymn again. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations, class of 2019. We really earned it. Welcome all graduates and their families, and thank you especially to those who traveled from far away. It means so much to us that you're all here. And congrats, families, for putting up with our senior slide attitudes for the past couple months. We couldn't have done it without you all, and Spark Notes. I know you all wanted a really funny speech today, but then you voted for me, so that's kind of on you. I'd like to talk about one of Worcester Academy's alumni. Hoffman had many amazing quotes, so I'll give one of his relatively kid-friendly ones. Revolution is not something fixed in ideology, nor is it something fashioned to a particular decade. It is a perpetual process embedded in. This revolutionary spirit is what ties our whole class together. Our athletes, actors, mathematicians, artists, linguists, debaters, scholars. Of course, I stand here saying this having received no detentions and at most an SRP or two in middle school. I'm just a baddie like that. But I truly believe that in each of us is this revolutionary spirit. I am very grateful to Worcester Academy for making us rebellious, whether knowingly or not. It's interesting. The world seems to hover between wanting us to make changes and telling us to wait until we're older. Well, now we're older, except Ryan Wren, who's still like 15. School, shout out to my lifers. They always asked us, do you dare disturb your universe? When they said that, I remembered rolling my eyes quite a bit. Does it count as disturbing our universes if someone else tells us we have to? But now I understand the value of that question. They were asking us, will you sit back and let others make decisions for you, or will you make the change you wish to see? Now we exit the high school bubble, and our universe becomes the universe. Welcome to the world of peanut butter and butter, of balloons full of latex and cafeterias buzzing with phones. Also, sadly, the world of no more snow days, but we didn't realize. That's on you, Ron. So now the question really does stand. Do you dare disturb this universe? Feel free to still roll your eyes at that, it's pretty corny. I've already seen that fiery spirit within you all. From having 3-hour-long conversations on Schoology, to searching for My Lamp the Dragon, to getting kicked out of the lower level of the library for having noisy conversations, to creating new and interesting senior parking strategies, to searching for the missing plates from the cafeteria. I could talk all day about the awesome things our grade has done, but notice the theme of these little acts of rebellion. They helped us form a stronger sense of community. We are young and energetic, and we don't really know what we're doing, except maybe Coco and Diana, they've really just got it together. But the world is ours to figure out and change. I'm not here to say forget education. I think just the opposite. I have absolutely loved my time here, and I thank Worcester Academy for all the opportunities it has given me. I want to say thank you to my parents and grandparents who have supported me through it all, as well as my sister Rowan, who has been the biggest inspiration to me. Thank you to Miss Gould for putting up with me during swim since I was 11. Thank you to Miss Schlesinger for grading everything immediately, and to all my other teachers who said, patience is a virtue. Thank you to Mr. LaRose, my advisor, for giving me advice about life, war, society, and even school. This school has allowed me to meet amazing people from all over: China, Ukraine, Malaysia, Turkey, Iran, Italy, South Korea, running. But my absolute love for all my teams. It has allowed me to see plays like The Diviners, which brought me to tears, and girls' varsity basketball games, which brought me to my feet. What's up, Peaches? It has allowed me to take Chinese, 我爱你, Lulashe, and has broadened my global perspective to receive an education such as this. But now the question is, what are we going to do with it? Abbie Hoffman said, "The best way to educate oneself is to become part of the revolution." But I actually think the opposite is true. I think the best way to become part of the revolution is to educate oneself. Education is a form of rebellion. We have been blessed with knowledge that can fight ignorance and intolerance. As you all go off to college or wherever life may lead you, remember to keep this revolutionary spirit. We live in a time of social and political unrest regardless of your personal beliefs. Years from now, we will be remembered for being the generation courageous enough to address the problems in society. In our time here, the dress code has become gender neutral, and 14 affinity and alliance groups have been created, and that was because of us. We will continue to shape the world as we desire, not because someone told us we have to, but because it is our natural tendency as passionate, educated youth to rebel with a cause. And we are better equipped to shape the world with the knowledge we have gained here. Finally, as Abbie Hoffman said, we were young, we were reckless, arrogant, silly, headstrong, and we were right. I regret nothing. I can say with certainty that we are all those things. Continue to be young, reckless, arrogant, silly, and headstrong. Those are the people who make the biggest impact. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you, Fiona, for your ongoing irreverence, small acts of rebellion, and really incredible understanding of the value and purpose of education, not only for yourselves, but for the world. We have 2 awards that we present each year at graduation. One is voted on by the faculty and is considered to be the top award for scholarship, voted by the faculty, and the other is a student-voted award. The first is the Bucknell Scholarship, by vote of the faculty, an honorary award without stipend, granted to that senior whose excellence in scholarship and character is most marked. The name of the recipient is carved on an oaken tablet in the Megaron. The recipient of this year's Bucknell is a student who is most noticeable or most notable for the curiosity she brings to her classes and her genuine appreciation for learning. Her presence in class is a joy to her teachers because she is always paying close attention, nodding along when the material makes sense, and narrowing her eyes and raising her hand to ask a question when it doesn't. She starts her long-term assignments as soon as she knows about them, never procrastinating or making excuses, and always asking good questions as she works. The work she produces is invariably outstanding. Her analytical skills are sharp, whether she is writing an essay analyzing the horrors of fascism in the 20th century or acing a calculus test, and she expresses her ideas in a clear and compelling fashion. Her academic accomplishments are astonishing. Her report card contains more A+s than A's, and a solid A is the lowest grade she's earned. Despite her clear record of academic excellence, she is consistently one of the most humble students in her class. She asks questions and confesses uncertainty regularly in order to ensure that her understanding is complete and in order to satiate her desire to learn. The kindness that defines her is evident in the strong friendships she's formed, respect she's earned from her peers as a classmate, a pillar, and a teammate. While this award is about her academic achievements and her character, it is worth noting that in addition to everything she brings to the classroom, her hard work and perseverance have made her the most accomplished female long-distance runner in Worcester Academy's history. She's been a model of academic and athletic success in her years at WA, and we will miss her next year as she continues her education at Tufts University. This year's recipient of the Bucknell Scholarship is Gabrielle Coco Arcand. Our next award is the Sigma Zeta Kappa Cup, and it's my pleasure to call upon James Markulitis, head monitor, to help present this award. So James, if you could start making your way up here. James is one of the strongest student leaders that I've ever been around. He's shown remarkable courage as a leader throughout his time at WA. Whether or not he held an official title as a leader, he has led us all with honesty, authenticity, strength, and a clear moral compass. This year alone, you, has ensured the success of morning meetings, interviewed teaching and administrative candidates, spoken to the Board of Trustees about how to move the culture of our school forward, and broadly shared his intellect and passion in an effort to make WA an even better school. He told me that he was worried he didn't accomplish everything he hoped, but I can assure you did plenty. I'm thankful for your leadership, James, and grateful that you've agreed to present the Sigma Cup. Please.
Hello, everyone. Awarded annually by the vote of the senior class, to that member of the class who has best exemplified the spirit of the school motto, achieve the honorable. The recipient's name will be engraved on a permanent cup. This year's recipient of the Sigma Cup is among the most active, involved, and genuine members of the class, and is among the most widely admired for his dedication and leadership. Since his arrival on the hilltop, he has achieved the honorable every day. Through his leadership and service to his class and the entire school community as a member of the Board of Monitors, a class president, and a captain of the ski team, he has achieved the honorable by taking full advantage of the academic opportunities afforded by WA, and through hard work and commitment, was selected as a member of this year's Cum Laude Society, the Academy's Academic Honor Society. He has achieved the honorable by entering the WA program by co-founding 2 new clubs in his sophomore year, history and another for science lovers. He has achieved the honorable through his significant contributions to WA's skiing, tennis, and robotics teams, where he's been a top performer and a valued teammate. Given his long family connection to Worcester Academy, he has known and heard about WA for as long as he can remember. And he knew from a young age that achieving the honorable is something special and is something to strive for. He has honored the spirit of the school motto throughout his years at WA, and the members of the class of 2019 has selected a worthy recipient of the Sigma Cup. I've come to know him well in our 4 years, serving on the board with him this year, and as a member of Ms. LaRose's advisory for 4 years. I am proud to say the recipient of this year's Sigma Cup is Cormac C.C. Collins.
Conveniently, CC is also our valedictorian this year, and we'll stay on stage and deliver his valedictory address. There we go, CC.
Thank you, Mr. Sino. Good morning, family, friends, distinguished alumni, the Board of Trustees, esteemed faculty, Mr. Bailey, and most importantly, the class of 2019. It is truly an honor to be representing the class of 2019 today. I would first like to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my brother Aiden, my grandparents, and the rest of my extended family. This day would not be possible without your unrelenting support. Additionally, I promise a shout out to my cousin George. George, I expect considerable fantasy football help next year in exchange for the shout out. I would also like to thank the members of the Worcester Academy community that have been particularly impactful to me during my time at Worcester Academy. I would like to thank my advisor, Mr. LaRose. I think I can now answer your question from the first advisory meeting freshman year. Yes, I am a nerd. I would also like to thank Ms. Schlesinger, Mr. Bukowski, Mr. Sumner, Mr. Liller, Dr. Markey, Coach Johnson, Ms. Huff, Ms. Thorne, Ms. P, Mr. Senior. Before I begin, I would also like to formally apologize for sending an all-school email 2 weeks before the Super Bowl last year saying the Patriots had basically already won the Super Bowl. That's on me, everyone. I'm sorry to have robbed everyone of a headmaster holiday. Oh, wait. When I first learned that I would be delivering the valedictory address, I was nervous. However, I soon realized that I had set the bar so low for my public speaking during morning meetings this year, I could literally say anything and it would not be a disappointment to most. Additionally, I've listened to Kanye West's Graduation at least 15 times, so I was already an expert at this whole graduation thing. With my newfound confidence, I scoured YouTube for commencement and graduation speeches and began collecting common themes particularly topical for our class. However, I ultimately got distracted and ended up watching hours of skiing on YouTube instead. So with 0 words written last night at 10:30, I decided I would do what only seemed logical. I would pay a junior much smarter than I am to write my speech. If anyone sees Dylan Hu after the ceremony, please tell him you enjoyed the speech. Dylan, the check's in the mail. As I reflect back on my time at Worcester Academy, I am brought back to a time that was particularly impactful to me. It was the summer before my junior year, about a week before school started, as I was desperately just starting my summer work. My grandfather was about to go on his daily trip to get the paper, a coffee, and a blueberry muffin, and I decided to tag along. After my grandfather got what he wanted, he suggested we drive around for a bit. As we drove around, my grandfather told me stories of his life as he had done his entire life, most likely realizing how stressed I was as I was about to begin what I had heard was the most stressful year of high school. He talked about his own academic career, the 45 he got in physical geography, the time he snuck out of his geometry class through a window, when he shouted last day of probation at his own Worcester Academy graduation. Despite what he described as a pretty subpar academic career, he reflected upon how he somehow was able to make a great legacy in the world of basketball. However, despite the success he has achieved in the world of basketball, he explained that the most impactful aspect of his life has been the relationships he's been able to cultivate with people. At the time, however, I was too naive to understand how this advice was applicable to my situation, and instead thought to myself, D, I'm 5'5". I don't think I'm going to make the NBA. It was not until a few days later, when I was fully stressing about my impending junior year, that I realized the significance of what my grandfather had told me. My entire high school career, I defined myself and my experiences based upon numbers. I allowed my entire high school experience to be defined by my GPA, my SAT scores, and most importantly, the amount of sage-made chicken tenders we got every other Friday. Mr. Esposito, 2 chicken tenders is not a sufficient amount. These numbers allowed me to compare myself to others without having to understand their stories. At Worcester Academy, we are taught to value the power of our own stories. However, these numbers fail to tell one's story. They don't account for one's upbringing and the experiences that have shaped you. Obsession over these numbers breeds ignorance, not progress, as they encourage you to view yourself and others by a limited number of binary factors rather than the experiences that have shaped them. As we fail to look past these numbers, we fail to develop meaningful relationships with our peers. Class of 2019, we are an impressive class based upon these numbers. However, our experience at Worcester Academy cannot be defined by these numbers. Our experience at Worcester Academy is defined by the relationships we've been able to foster. It is the relationships we have made that allow us to advance as people. They encourage us to think beyond our preconceived notions and welcome new ideas. Our relationships have exposed us to different cultures and experiences. So, as we move on from Worcester Academy, I encourage you to pursue creating connections with others, as these relationships are what will drive humanity forward. As Chicago-based poet and Renaissance man Chief Keef once said, if civilization is to survive, we must cultivate the science of human relationships, the ability of all people of all kinds to live together in the same world at peace. As we move on to the next chapter of our life, I would like to leave you with one piece of advice. I know I, a 17-year-old with $15 in his bank account, is in no position to be giving advice, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Nonetheless, class of 2019, our entire academic career has been focused on one common theme, the pursuit of the truth. We study math and science to find the truth about the inner workings of our natural world. We study literature and the arts to find the truth of the human condition. We pursue history to discover the truth of our own society and societies both near and far. We pursue athletics to uncover the innate truth about ourselves. As we graduate from Worcester Academy, we enter a world of immense inequality where truth and facts have seemingly lost their value. This inequality is by no means new. However, our generation has unprecedented access and understanding of this equality. So graduating class, as we move on, I urge you to seek to try to find the truth in all your endeavors. It is only through an understanding of the truths of society that we can begin to combat the issues that plague our society. Whether your pursuit of the truth means you help make education more accessible throughout the world, or you simply learn more about a culture of which you had past prejudices, it is these actions that will truly drive the world forward. As Marie Curie once said, you cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. To that end, each of us must work for his own improvement and, at the same time, share general responsibility for all humanity, our particular duty being to aid those to whom we think we can be most useful. Thank you.
Three things for Cece. One, you're right to view some of your grandfather's stories with skepticism. Two, I'm glad you were smart enough to listen to the right ones. And three, that was at least as good as anything you ever said at morning meeting. Thank you very much. It is, one of the things that makes Worcester Academy special is that it is all about the relationships and the people and the education that that produces for all of us, not just for you as students, but for us as adults as well. We learn how to value what's important, we learn how to value the people around us, and we learn how to move ourselves forward together to do bigger and better things. One of the people that I think has inspired all of us in various ways at various times is Miss Patricia Peterleitner. Miss P is here today to be your commencement speaker, and she's here because of the relationships that she's developed with all of you and with all of us. And it's my incredible pleasure to introduce my friend and colleague, Miss Patricia Peterleitner.
Good morning. I'm Patty Peterleitner. I'm the upper school director. I've been out on medical leave since March when I had a stroke. But I couldn't tell you that I'm so proud and so honored to be here today because of you. Board of Trustees, Headmaster Sino, administration, the esteemed faculty, my friends, the staff of Worcester Academy, your families, friends, and especially to the class of 2019. Congratulations. And a special congratulations to Cece and Fiona. Wow. I got to follow you now. I offer my sincere congratulations to the class of 2019, and I'm deeply honored to be here as your graduation speaker for this 185th graduating celebration. Graduation is that time when we purposefully celebrate the joy of who you are while acknowledging the hopes and anticipations of what you are yet to become. I want to emphasize that while I am so proud of what each of you has achieved, the numbers, yes, the numbers, each a distinguished and unique list of accomplishments as well as the numbers, it is the who that each of you has grown to become that I am most proud. My memories in these years of your kindness and your character are the indelible imprints that will forever endure in my heart. Admit it, we all want to be remembered for something. You, the class of 2019, will always be remembered for your generous and courageous spirit. Unequivocally, these are your common denominators and your legacy. You have been exemplars. Your actions have demonstrated your gratitude for the opportunity of Worcester Academy. I told you last August 31st, at our opening convocation ceremony, with great privilege comes great responsibility, and as the oldest members in the upper school, that it was up to you to be role models for our community. Thank you. You did just that. I want to applaud your impact through your community spirit, your integrity, your kindness, and your scholarship. I truly believe that the future belongs to the kind. Never lose that. What's the scoop of the class of 2019? This class totals 137 students, 119 seniors, 18 postgraduates. 2 members of this group are the esteemed recipients of ROTC scholarship. There are 24 lifers. They've been here a long time, since 6th grade. There are 48 legacies, students in this class who are related to Worcester Academy alums. There are 23 cum laude recipients, and 100% of this distinguished class recently, just this week, completed their graduation project program. We've deemed it Leave Your Mark. 4 of them through capstones, 11 through service learning projects, 29 through masterworks, and 93 through career exploration. Congratulations on that. 135 of these class members will be represented worldwide at 88 colleges and universities, and 2 students are courageous to pursue a gap year. I applaud that. Their educational experiences will be in the District of Columbia and Scotland, as well as 23 states, and I'd like to name those because I will come visit. Alabama, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Maryland, Maine, Minnesota, North Carolina, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Washington, Wisconsin, and as I said, the District of Columbia and Scotland. And we are represented by 9 countries, students in this class. I'd like to name these: China, Canada, Italy, Malaysia, Thailand, Turkey, Ukraine, the United States, and Vietnam. Haven't we been so lucky? Today is a day of change and transition, both an ending and a beginning, all in one day, presenting each of you with the full range of emotions, I'm sure. While I know you're exhilarated, you must feel that this day is here, it's finally yours. Wow, wow. But it's the finale of your unforgettable journey. There has to be some part of that feeling a little bittersweet. And in the words of Dr. Seuss, sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Your feelings of belonging here, you felt confident, the comfort in knowing how to maneuver the Worcester Academy scene, the student center, dining hall, classes, common rooms, extracurriculars, clubs, and so on, and being recognized here for your actions and your deeds. Each of you has found your place here and your people. You have finally figured out and know who to go to in the tough times and who to laugh with in the good times. Each of you belongs here in all of our hearts, no matter what. But then, as the day goes on, this day will also tug at your heart as you reflect upon your epic chapter, because I believe it has been epic. It feels like an ending, and endings are hard, but today is really about beginnings, your readiness for new beginnings. Commencement is derived from the word commence, meaning to begin. And communities earn reputations that reflect the values that are inherent in their celebrations. Today's Worcester Academy graduation celebration is rooted in our values of achieving the honorable. That means we are validating our commitment to your legacy and to your commencing with fortitude and resilience, while supporting you to continue to aspire to Worcester Academy's core values as your constant guiding light, the keystone of your actions. And in the words of Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. We become what we repeatedly think. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. My remaining remarks today will be about what I believe are 3 fundamental concepts that, if remain in your constant focus, will serve you well. 1, how to attain balance in your life. 2, the inevitable, your relationship with and to change. And 3, your growing resilience. Everything in life is about how you balance how you live. Truly, our actions reflect what we prioritize. And in the words of Marissa Myers, she's the CEO at Yahoo, You can't have everything you want, but you can have the things that really matter most to you. You can choose. Here, you've had guidance helping you to choose to make balanced life decisions, always that are in the best interest of you. Keep in mind as you move forward that sometimes it's a little choice or the smallest step in the right direction that can end up being the most important step in your life. Balance in life seems like a simple concept to understand. Things like, without sadness, how can we appreciate joy? And without fears, you may not you may not appreciate overcoming them. But balance can really be difficult to understand and difficult to sustain as you're doing so many things in your life. I urge you to strive to sustain just the right amount of balance between what others need from you, your time, support, and what you need for yourself to attain your goals. There is power in knowing, and it's safe to say this, and it's okay to say this, that you do not have to do it all. And what happens when things don't go as planned? We've all had that, right? We cannot shield ourselves from life's setbacks. Uncertainty is inevitable, but do not fear change. Have confidence in you. Give amplitude and noise to the voice of your growing resilience. If you listen carefully to its whisper, you will hear its constant reminder that you always have a choice as to how you respond to the obstacles of change. Remember, I believe it is your comfort zone and fear of change that will always be the greatest rivals for your potential. We've all said it at one time or another. We're afraid of something, right? You're afraid to take the test, you're afraid to go on an interview, you're afraid to stand up and public speak, whatever, fear, right? Fear has two meanings, and I want you to remember I told you this today. Fear can mean forget everything and run, or fear can mean face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Unequivocally, I believe that resiliency is your most essential personal characteristic. It is defined by 7 C's: competency, confidence, connection, character, coping, control, and contribution. What we think about ourselves is what we communicate to others. And many of you, I'm so proud to say, have already given faces to these characteristics of resiliency. I applaud you. Keep that up. We, your teachers, your parents, your friends, your coaches, your advisors, we have all been invested in common goals for you as you move through your time here on the hilltop. 1, we want you to give life to your dreams. 2, to help you grow your resilience. 3, to find opportunities in your life challenges. And I know that because who each of you has become, you will have incredible experiences and opportunities. You will have unlimited potential for new lifelong friends, to grow deeper roots and broader wings. You have a lifetime for this. And it's always easy, as we think about things, to roll with the good stuff. It's easier than the hard stuff. But again, remember, you have a choice. 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% of it is how you react to it. So just in case, in talking to some of the kids who've graduated over the past few years, these are some of the things when they've come back to visit that we've talked about. You may find yourself on the top bunk in a forced triple, even if you hate heights. What are you going to do? You may find that as you begin your new, nothing feels familiar, and it appears that everybody else seems to know everything that you don't. Nothing seems simple. That can be scary. You may not always get into the classes you want when you want them, and you're not going to be able to call me or Miss Nichols or your advisor to make that happen for you. The infirmary may not be staffed with people who know you by name and know your favorite snack. And you may not be invited to every party on campus. You may fall in love, and you may get hurt. Relationships can be risky, as we know. But one thing is for sure, you will grow a lot. And this is a quote I want to thank Ms. Schlesinger for. If the seas were always calm, we never would have built a better boat. I continue to grow from my own life's experiences. What I was faced with, even in the midst of my greatest period of personal success, out of the blue, also came my biggest setback. But I made a choice. I set a goal, I asked for help, and I believed every day counted. And the small steps of every day became the sum of many plus ones. As I told you a few weeks ago when I came to speak about Stroke Awareness Month, I deeply believe that incidents like these experiences are life's way of reminding us that we are always exactly where we need to be. Remember that experiences like these in life will likely not always be joyful, but they surely will always be useful. Believe in that. I believe in you. It's the stories we tell of these life experiences that are powerful, often reflecting upon our bruised spirit. And you will see the only way out of a challenge is through. Every person sitting here today has a story to tell. Each is noteworthy and unique, just like the path of the footprints we leave in the sand. I urge you to always have faith in the path of your footprints. But just start with one. It can be simple. One goal, your choice. Define what you believe is attainable. And like I had a +1, what is your +1? Things like talk to somebody new each day, do all your homework, not to miss any classes. Whatever it is, you need to write it down. Seeing it, reading it, and your commitment to it. Your relationship to your goals is the foundation of your story. And acting on your goal is the starting point of every one of your dreams. Attaining your goals will foster confidence and resilience. I have so much faith in you. Second, acknowledge and value the power in accepting encouragement and support. Also value your ability to offer support and encouragement to others who have not been afforded your same opportunities. Use every available resource. Leave no stone unturned. Be a resource, be a thoughtful, caring contributor whenever you can be. Our lives are meant to give away. The straightforward way to live a life of significance is simply to share your 3 T's. Share your time, share your talent, and share your treasures. None of us could have ever made it through these years of our lives without support, and I want to publicly thank you for the support that you have shown me. Thirdly, be steadfast in your actions. The key is you must believe that you can be. Push as hard as you can, just plain don't give up. Never live with the regret of not having tried something one more time. If you get knocked down, I know you can get back up. If you persist, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it forever. Whenever faced with a bumpy road and find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. I will always remember how far you've come. I remember our very first meeting back when you were freshmen. And the straightforward way to live a life of significance is not only to share your 3 T's, but is also to share your S, your story. And remember, legacy is not leaving something for people, it's what we leave in people. And by sharing your story, it's the footprint of your legacy. So I want to know how you're going to share your legacy as you move on. Well, I thought about that question, and I wanted to do something for you. So every one of you is going to get one of these today from me. This is a journal, and I want to read to you what I wrote in the back, because I want everybody to remember this date. I said, congratulations, class of 2019. See you on May 4th, 2024. Anybody know what that date might mean? Your 5-year reunion. Yes, I'm going to be here waiting for you. So will we all. See you then. So these journals are going to be in the back, and I'll point them out as I end. But I wanted you to, this is just a remembrance, a little remembrance of how much we value each of you, so that you can continue to document your story as you continue to achieve what is honorable and how you want to be remembered. This is an exercise for you to think about legacy writing, and it's the opportunity for you to honor how you want to be remembered and continuing the story you began here on the hilltop. In addition to my very bad handwriting, I apologize. In the front is a copy of my speech from today for each of you, just in case you ever want to reread. But in conclusion, what I wish most for each of you is that you will always know how much I value your hearts and your spirit. I will always be your biggest cheerleader, no matter what. I wish that the path of your footprints will always lead you back here. I wish that you find a caring, diverse, and inclusive community that values you as much as we do here. I wish that you find the passion for and pure joy in your growth, your relationships, and your learning. And I will remind you that you should remember to always call your parents. They were your first teachers and undoubtedly your greatest. And that you can always share an experience, understanding. Empathy is the cornerstone of every relationship. And finally, I wish for you, and in the words of Confucius, your enduring resolve and resilience, so that your greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time you fall. Thank you for your attention. I know how hot it is. And thank you for sharing your special day with me. So until the next time.
So class of 2019, with words of wisdom and inspiration from your peers and from Miss P in your minds and in your hearts, it's time to move you one step closer to adulthood and graduation away from Worcester Academy. I'd like to call on Miss Madeline Surgenar, who's going to begin our presentation of diplomas, as well as our chair of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Jim Petrie.
Good morning. Jacob Scott Adamson. Andrew James Adaletta. Etta Akash. Tyler Matthew Anger. Coco Arkand. Grace Una Arpin. Kevin G. Arpin. Mitra M. Estiga. Gualtiero Ritsari Barilla. Griffin Barrier. Gathika Bathini. Nathan Michael Battles. Edward Joseph Beauregard, Jr. Abigail Kathleen Berry. Chance Taylor Basheo. Ethan Paul Boileau. Michael Borelli. Aaliyah Alisa Boston. Jared Bushnell. Angus P. Butler. Kevin James Cafeo. Brian Castro. Catherine Elizabeth Colley. Zihan Chai. Eric Cheng. Marina Clara Kimpanu. Cormac Rowe Collins. Gabriella Leanna Conti. Jordan Claire Cooper. Matthew John Corey. John Patrick Coughlin, Jr. Kevin Daniel Cox. Carly Irene Campbell Daly. Kayvon Shane Darton. Megan Elizabeth Dickey. Ding Zilan. Mitchell Quinn Doherty. Bryce C. Downey. Zhao Xuan Feng. Kira Marie Fernandez. Reishi Fu. Matteo Galucci. Vanessa Jaylene Ganji. Mabel Gao. Sophia L. Gardner. Bryce Garvey. Catherine M. Gaudette. Roham Giyahi. Emily R. Goodrich. Yuza Gu. Ernst Miles Gurrier. Tess Harvey. Braden J. Hatt. Laura Hill. Jake Allen Hughes. Zakudu Ikwanagu. Joshua T. Josh's diploma will be presented by his father, Neil Isaacson, Worcester Academy's Director of Development Operations. Tylee S. Jones. Tidima Gao Tai Song. Paige M. Keeler. Shelby R. Corey. Lillian James Kirk. Rahul Krishnan. Zachariah Nua Latifi. Daniel Walter Lavin. Wesley Laguerre. Maya Lillian Lester. Ingzi Lee. Joafan Lee. Yanhan Lee Stella. Dylan Leon. Jishwan Jack Lin. Michelle Jai Liu. Graham Fitzgerald Logan. Richard J. Lundgren. Io Liu. Zachary Joseph Magdus. Charles Frederick Manoog. James Edward Markulitis. Luke George Mazer. Jordan Alexander McAllister. Sean McCarthy. Ryan McGowan. Grace Elizabeth McShay. James Frank Michieli. Megan Elizabeth Miranda. Nicholas Ung. Megan Ann Nguyen. V. Nguyen. Timothy O'Connor. Daria Ordonat. Aiden Burke Ormsby. Chase A. Orr. Brandon Farley Osborne. Veronica Markova Osgood. Neha Panagrahi. Jack Victor Parks. Rayana Marie Petroni. Chloe Elizabeth Pearson. Nicole Petro. Lauren Dolores Power. Fiona Britt Price. Micah Perrier Damillionaire. Micah's diploma will be presented by her mother, Susan Perrier, Worcester Academy's board member. Alexander Valentin Quintella. Nicole Ramirez. Manav Randawa. Ryan Wren. Adeline Reynolds. William Nealon Ridgely. Devin Rochelle. Enli Samborski. Enli's diploma will be presented by her mother, Kathleen Samborski, Worcester Academy's Director of Health Services. Thomas Lawrence Sasso. Owen Matthew Schwartz. Holly Lynn Silva. Zachary B. Stolberg. Kevin James Sullivan. Annabelle Aline Sidlick. Mitch A. Tebow. Grace Turner. Mercy Uno. Olivia Rose Valerie. Jovan S. Vega. Bolin Wong. Zachary J. Welch. Clarice Shu. Yichen Shu. Mingze Lily Yan. Samantha Catherine Yard. Alyssa Yoon. Yuja Jong. Jo Yue.
Wait, is that how you say?
Faculty, families, and distinguished guests, I now present you the class of 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Please stick with us for a reception on the quad after we recess. Thank you.